Hey, coin lovers! Welcome back to the channel. Get ready to uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change. From the legendary Maya Angelou quarter to shocking mint errors that could skyrocket in value, old as gold, and some of these coins could be worth way more than you think. Stay tuned for mind-blowing discoveries. Let's start with one of the most recent and significant coins to hit circulation, the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter design. This coin is part of the American Women Quarters program by the U.S. Mint, which honors legendary American women. And if there's anyone who deserves to be celebrated on a coin, it's Maya Angelou. The first African-American woman ever featured on a U.S. coin, Angelou's image is strong and dignified, just like her legacy. On the obverse front, you see her portrait, and the reverse features a bird in flight, symbolizing freedom, which ties directly to her memoir I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It's a stunning design that represents a monumental moment in history, and it's got collectors really excited. But here's where it gets really interesting: this coin is worth much more than just its face value of 25 cents, especially if you've got one with an error or in pristine condition. Errors and varieties that can really boost value. Now, let's talk about errors. If you've ever watched coin collecting videos, you know that errors can be where the real value lies. And the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter is no exception. One of the biggest things collectors look for is a double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, causing the details on the coin to be stamped twice. So, if you're looking at your quarter and notice that the text, Liberty, or, In God We Trust, is doubled up, that's an error, and it can significantly increase the coin's value. In fact, if you find a double die error, you could be sitting on a coin worth $500, $1,000, or even more. It all depends on how noticeable the error is and how well the coin has been preserved. Potential. Now, let's talk about value. The condition of the coin is huge when it comes to determining its worth. A mint state coin, meaning it's in perfect, uncirculated condition, can be worth a lot more than one that's been through a lot of wear and tear. A mint state 2022 Maya Angelou quarter might sell for $300 to $500 if it's in excellent condition. But here's the kicker: if your coin is in top-notch condition and has a double die error, it could easily jump to $1,000 to $3,000. Some of the really rare examples with major errors could even be worth $5,000 or more. Yes, you heard that right, this coin, which was minted just a few years ago, could become a value collectible in the future. Value examples. Let's take a quick look at some examples. If you've got a perfectly uncirculated quarter that's been graded MS 65 or higher, you might be looking at a coin worth around $300 to $500. But if there's a double die error or any other rare variety, its value could shoot up to $1,000 to $3,000. And for those especially rare examples, well, we've seen coins like these go for $5,000 or more at auction. Make sure to keep an eye on yours because you might just have a hidden treasure sitting in your pocket change. Next up, we have the 2021 Washington crossing the Delaware quarter. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just another quarter, right? But hold up. This coin could actually be worth a whole lot more than 25 cents, especially if you find the right version of it. Stick with me, because you might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. Let's talk about the history of the coin, what to look for, and, most importantly, how this coin could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. History and design. First off, let's quickly talk about the design. This quarter is part of the American Women Quarters program, but the Washington crossing the Delaware design is all about a pivotal moment in American history, the night when George Washington led his troops across the Delaware River during the American Revolution. It's one of those iconic moments that really turned the tide in the war. The coin shows Washington standing heroically in a boat, guiding his men across the icy river. The design itself is powerful, and it's definitely got that bold, historical significance collectors love. Plus, the mintmark D shows that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint. High value and error coins. Now, let's get into what could make this coin so valuable. Most of the 2021 D Washington crossing the Delaware quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents. But, here's the kicker, if you find one with a rare error, that's where things get really interesting. For example, one of the most valuable errors on modern coins is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, causing the design to be imprinted twice, resulting in doubling. On the 2021 D Washington crossing the Delaware quarter, the doubling typically shows up on Liberty or In God We Trust. Double die coins are highly collectible, and if you find one, it could be worth anywhere from $100 to $500 depending on the severity of the doubling. But here's where it gets wild. Well-preserved examples with strong doubling could easily fetch $1,000, $2,000, or even more, especially if they're graded in top-notch condition. Mint condition and higher grade value. Another thing that can dramatically raise the value of this coin is mint condition. A perfectly preserved, uncirculated coin, graded MS 65 or higher, can fetch $100 to $200. But if you've got one that's in pristine condition, it could easily jump to $500 or more. Coins in mint state, that means no wear, sharp details, and fresh from the mint, are always more valuable. High-quality MS 66 or MS 67 examples of the 2021 D Washington crossing the Delaware quarter could be worth $500 to $1,000. Now, if you throw a rare error into the mix, like a strong double die or striking issues, the value of the coin can skyrocket even further. Rare error coins can be worth thousands. Let's take this a step further. Error coins are not just a hobby for collectors, they're big business. The rarer the error, the higher the price. For example, a high-grade, error-free 2021 D Washington crossing the Delaware coin might be worth $200 to $500. But throw in a double die error, and we're looking at something that could fetch $1,000 to $3,000. Some extreme cases with severe doubling and perfect grades have even sold for over $5,000. It's also worth noting that collectors are always on the lookout for low mintage coins or those with unique features. So, if you happen to find a coin that's in top condition and has a rare error, be sure to get it appraised, because you could have a hidden gem worth thousands. So, there you have it. The 2021 D Washington crossing the Delaware quarter isn't just another quarter, it's a piece of history, and with the right error or in the right condition, it could be worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Always check your coins closely, especially the ones that seem like they're in great shape or have unusual details. You might be holding on to something that could make you some serious money. Next, let's talk about the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter. To celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence, the U.S. Mint released special bicentennial quarters. These were unlike any other coin minted before, featuring a unique reverse created by artist Jack L. Ahr, showcasing a colonial drummer and a torch surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies. On the obverse, we have the classic George Washington portrait, but this time with dual dates, 1776 to 1976, marking this historical milestone. While billions of these quarters were struck, the real treasures are the rare variations, errors, and high-quality specimens, especially those with a D Mint mark from the Denver Mint. What makes the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter worth a fortune? Most people think these quarters are just a piece of history, but there's a lot more to it than that. While many bicentennial quarters are worth only 25 cents, some can fetch thousands of dollars, and there's a reason for that. Let's talk about what makes them so valuable. 1. Error coins. Error coins are what really get collectors excited. These minting mistakes can make an otherwise ordinary coin worth big money. Here are the main types of errors that could make your coin worth a fortune. Double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, creating a doubling effect on text or design features. If you spot doubling on words like Liberty or the drummer design, you could have a coin worth $10,000 or more. Off-center strikes. an off-center coin happens when the blank planchet is not properly aligned during the minting process. This causes part of the coin's design to be missing or misaligned. Off-center strikes can be worth $5,000 to $10,000 or more, depending on the severity. Missing clad layers. Some quarters were struck without their outer clad layer, making them appear copper-colored. These coins are rare and very desirable to collectors. If you find one, it could easily be worth between $5,000 and $15,000. 2. High-grade coins, MS-68 and above. The condition of a coin is everything. A coin in mint condition or uncirculated can be worth a lot more than a worn or damaged coin. For example, a 1976 bicentennial quarter graded at MS-68 sold for over $19,000 at auction. And it doesn't stop there. PR-70, proof, coins, which are in perfect condition, can fetch upwards of $50,000, and in some rare cases, they can go as high as $100,000. 3. 40% silver bicentennial quarters. Most of the bicentennial quarters were made from copper-nickel, but there were also special 40% silver versions made for mint sets. These coins are significantly more valuable than their copper-nickel counterparts. A silver bicentennial quarter can be worth several $1,000s, especially in uncirculated or proof condition. 4. Unique prototype or die trial coins. Even rarer than the typical error coins are the prototype and die trial coins. These are experimental coins made in limited quantities during the production process. Some of these experimental strikes have been known to sell for over $100,000 at auction. These coins are extremely rare, often featuring slight design deviations or unique characteristics that make them highly valuable. How to check if your bicentennial quarter is worth a fortune. Now that you know what to look for, how can you tell if your bicentennial quarter is one of these valuable coins? Here's how you can check. Inspect the condition. Is your coin in pristine condition? No scratches, no wear, no dings. The better the condition, the higher the value. Look for errors. Take a magnifying glass and check for doubling, misaligned strikes, or missing clad layers. Any error like this could boost the value to thousands of dollars. Check for silver content. If your bicentennial quarter feels a bit heavier than usual, it might be one of the 40% silver versions. These are worth more than the standard copper-nickel ones. They weigh 11.5 grams, compared to the regular 8.3 grams. Get it graded. If you think you've got a valuable coin, consider having it graded by a professional. Getting your coin graded by PCGS or NGC can greatly increase its market value. So, there you have it. The 1976 bicentennial quarter could be worth way more than its face value, up to $100,000 or even higher if you have a rare error coin or one in mint condition. Be sure to check your pocket change, coin jars, and collections. You might be sitting on a fortune. Now, we move on to 2007 P. Idaho State Quarter. Before we dive into the value aspect, let's talk a little about the history and design of the Idaho State Quarter. Released in 2007, this quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. During that time, the U.S. Mint released a unique quarter for each state, and the Idaho quarter is one of the final ones in the series. The reverse design features Shoshone Falls on the Snake River, which is sometimes called the Niagara of the West. It's a beautiful image, with an eagle flying overhead and Idaho's state motto, Esto Perpetua, meaning, let it be perpetual, on the banner. The P mint mark tells us that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Errors and rarities that can increase value. Alright, now let's get to the fun part. What makes this coin worth way more than just 25 cents? The key here is errors. Error coins are highly collectible, and there are a few specific errors to look for on the 2007 P. Idaho State Quarter that could drastically increase its value. One of the most valuable errors to look for is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, which causes part of the design to appear doubled. On the Idaho quarter, the doubling usually appears on the words like Liberty or In God We Trust. If you spot any doubling in these areas, you've got an error coin that's worth a lot more than face value. A double die error on a 2007 P Idaho quarter could be worth anywhere from $100 to $300, depending on how noticeable the doubling is. But here's the best part: if the error is very prominent, some collectors are willing to pay even more, potentially pushing the value up to $500 or higher. Value coins and how to spot them. Now, let's talk about really high-value coins. If you happen to find an Idaho quarter with a misstrike, it could be worth a small fortune too. A misstrike occurs when the coin is struck off-center, creating a design that's misaligned or incomplete. If your coin shows a significant misstrike, it could easily be worth $200 or more. These errors are often more dramatic than a double die and can make your coin one of a kind. Additionally, if your quarter has a struck-through error, where something like grease or debris gets caught in the die and causes an impression on the coin, it could add value as well. Coins with these errors can range anywhere from $100 to $500 depending on the size and location of the strike. Why you should check your coins. So, why should you check your 2007 P Idaho State quarters? Because they could be worth way more than just a quarter. The rarer the error, the more valuable your coin becomes. Coins with high-value errors are super collectible and can fetch hundreds or even thousands at auction, especially if they're in mint condition. If your coin has clear, noticeable errors and is in great shape, you could be holding on to something worth $500 or more. Last but not least, we have the famous 2022 D. Wilma Mankiller quarter is part of the American Women Quarters program, which honors women who made lasting impacts on American history. And Wilma Mankiller is definitely one of the most important figures featured in this series. Wilma Mankiller was the first female principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, a role she served in from 1985 to 1995. She was an incredible advocate for Native American rights, especially for improving education, health, and social services for the Cherokee people. Her leadership helped transform the Cherokee Nation into a stronger, more sustainable community, and she remains an inspirational figure in American history. The design of the quarter features a powerful portrait of Wilma Mankiller, designed by Brittany Chimas, along with the inscription, Wilma Mankiller, and the years of her birth and death, 1945 to 2010. You'll also see a symbolic depiction of the Cherokee Nation's homeland, with mountains and rivers representing the connection to the people and the land she fought for. Value of the 2022 D. Washington quarter Wilma Mankiller. Now, let's get to the part that every collector wants to know: how much is this coin worth? Well, if you happen to find the 2022 D. Wilma Mankiller quarter, it's important to note that it's still in circulation. In average circulated condition, it's worth only its face value, 25 cents. But don't just toss it aside. Here's why this coin could be worth a lot more. One of the main ways this coin could increase in value is if it's uncirculated, meaning it has never been in public circulation, and it looks just as good as the day it was minted. Uncirculated Wilma Mankiller quarters are already selling for $2 to $5 on average, but with high demand for coins from the American Women Quarters program, the price could rise. Error coins and rarities. Here's where things get really interesting: error coins. If you happen to find a 2022 D. Wilma Mankiller quarter with a minting error, you could be holding on to a coin worth significantly more. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors, and even minor mistakes can increase the value of the coin. One error to watch for is a double die. This happens when the die used to mint the coin shifts slightly, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. This doubling can happen on the inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." Depending on how pronounced the doubling is, a double die error coin can be worth anywhere from $50 to $200 or even higher. Another potential error to look for is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not aligned properly when it's struck, causing part of the design to be missing. If your Wilma Mankiller quarter has an off-center strike, it could increase its value to around $100 to $500, depending on the severity of the misalignment. Some collectors are willing to pay big bucks for these unique and rare errors. Future value and collector demand. Here's the thing: this coin could increase in value over time. We've seen it with other commemorative coins, especially those that honor historic figures. As more collectors realize the significance of the American Women Quarters program, coins like the Wilma Mankiller Quarter could become highly sought after in the future. As Wilma Mankiller's legacy continues to inspire new generations, the demand for coins honoring her could skyrocket. If you hold on to a well-preserved Wilma Mankiller Quarter, it could be worth a lot more in the coming years, especially as collectors look to complete the series. So there you have it. From the powerful 2022 Maya Angelou Quarter to the iconic 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarter, each one of these coins has its own unique history and value for collectors. Remember, when you're collecting coins, it's not just about the monetary worth, it's about the story they tell and the moments in history they represent. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more coin content, and leave us a comment with your favorite coin from today's list. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.